The do's and don'ts of your bathroom remodel. If you're looking to do a bathroom remodel, stick around. We're going to break down what you should do, or maybe what you shouldn't do. So we're going to break that down right now. The Educated Homeowner, Know Your Home Like a Pro, brought to you by A New Day Construction, where every day is a new day. All right, guys, so I'm glad you stuck around. I got Jamie here today and Jerry Martin, of course, and this is the Educated Homeowner, our new podcast. So you should know your home like a pro, and it's sponsored by A New Day Construction, of course. So we're going to break down, I've got Jamie here, about bathroom remodels, what to look for, especially when it comes to design and functionality. Because, you know, when you're in a bathroom remodel, you want to make sure when you're done with it, it's everything you dreamed of, not go, oh, I wish I would have done that. Yeah. It's a lot of planning in the beginning, a lot of time to spend with a designer, and we're really thinking about how the space lays out, because once you have it done, it's done. All right, so this one looks amazing, Jamie. I really love this. Tell us a little about it.
Okay, so the tile in this bathroom has been taken all the way up to the ceiling and all the way across the back wall. When you walk in, it creates a focal point. Right. It draws your eye in. You have that accent wall, and it makes the room feel a lot larger. It heightens the ceiling. So it gives you that feeling of a more spa-like entry. You got that retreat where it's not just a normal bathroom where there's no fun, there's no aesthetic. This gives you an eye for design.
I'm glad you said that, because you know, a lot of traditionally we think about bathrooms as bathrooms. That's where we do our business, right? That's where you clean yourself. That's when you go to the bathroom. But now it's becoming more of a space, like you said, a spa-like. It's people, they want that new bathroom, and it's because we spend a lot of time in our bathrooms, in our kitchens.
Yeah.
You know,
where you start your day, where you're in your day.
Yeah, and so you know, especially at the end of the day when you come home, it's like, you just want to go into how would you like to go into a nice spa at the end of the day?
Exactly.
Yeah, you come out, you got a heated towel rack, you got some teak thing here. If you want to slide over here and take a nice bath, that's amazing too. So that's kind of like having your own spa. So,
so going into the consultation, I always discuss the main components of a bathroom. You have a lot going on. There's a lot of decisions to make. You have to pick out your mirror, your vanity, your tile. So when it comes to tile, that's one of your big ticket items. You want to make sure that if you're wanting to stay clean and classic in your design, a hexagon is a great way to add in that clean classic design. It's always going to be in style, and when it comes to pattern, you can add a fun pattern. You can add fun color to it, but most of the time a lot of people want to stay neutral, so you can always stay with your grays, your whites, your creams, your beiges.
Something that's timeless, basically. So when it comes to countertops and floor, you want to make sure those are your timeless items.
Yeah, like your bigger ticket items, like the countertops, because you're going to put a lot of money into those. You're going to look at those a lot, because on your vanity, that's where you spend a lot of your time getting ready.
Right.
And so again, here's your pattern. You can add a fun little cute pattern detail, and then they have a nice, black vanity to add contrast and brings in the nice black pattern and the border.
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah.
So I know, we talked about tile, and of course tile is going to be a costly item.
Yeah.
Tile labor itself is costly. Plus, depending on what you pick, because tile can go from 49 cents a square to what? What's the highest you've seen?
Oh gosh, I've seen anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 on just the full bathroom, or I've seen people picking out specialty tile from Italy and it being $5,000 or $6,000 if they're going to do a full bathroom, accent walls, wet rooms, things like that.
There's other options too that we offer that give you the same look, because with tile, a lot of people looks great in the beginning, but over time it starts building up that grout, especially if you don't take care of it. And inherently, we don't do what we're supposed to do as humans. We don't seal stuff when we're supposed to seal them. Even though we're supposed to seal that granite countertop every 6 months, it doesn't happen. And you'll find it in the showers too. We just forget about it and it doesn't get done. So, that's where people go, I don't want a tile shower because I don't want all the grout. So, we're going to talk about some other options in just a bit, some wallboards, stuff that we do that'll help with that. And also with flooring too, tile's not your only option. People are now running their continuous LVP through their house, running into the bathrooms too. So that's an option. The other option is an LVT product that looks like tile, but it's not tile. So you still get the same look, grout lines, everything. It's just not a tile. So different things you can do in there. And again, that's different choices. Now, all of those choices, you can put a heated floor underneath that. And I want to bring up heated floors because I love them. I have one myself and I love it. And so just know when you're in the bathroom, when you're talking about tile floor, tile is cold inherently.
Mm-hmm.
It's, especially if you're on a concrete slab. And so, think about that if you're looking at doing a bathroom remodel, because in the wintertime, when that slab's cold and you're going into bed in the morning time, your bare feet, it's going to be cold. In mine, I can tell because we didn't put the heated floor in the closet. So when I step my foot in there, it's like, wow, I can really
tell the difference.
I had no idea it's that contrasted difference until you experience it. So that's something to think about if you're doing a bathroom. I just want to throw that in there. I know you were going with all the styles, because I just really want to, the functional side is really stuff to think about too. It can look great, but if it's not functional, it's not. There's no use for you.
So instead of just doing a black and white contrast, a lot of people want to add a bold pattern, and I say go bold and go fun in your half bath or guest bathrooms.
Right.
In this design, you have a really pretty blue. It has a lot of shade variation, and with the pattern being a herringbone pattern, it adds a lot of visual interest. And then again, they still kept with a black and white floor and added pattern, but your focal point, your statement piece when you walk in is you see this beautiful shower. Walking in, it's from, all the way up to the ceiling. It's
like an accent wall. It's like when you walk in, you go, wow. And so, I love that. There's so many different designs and styles.
Absolutely.
I know we don't have one in here today, but in the pictures today, but even lighted niches really bring that. Pops out really, that makes it really pop out. So,
And it's fun because you can add in these bathrooms, because they're smaller, you have a lot less time and money put into them. So this is where I say, if you want to add some kind of fun color, be bold, push the envelope in a half bath, a guest bathroom, kids bathrooms even. Here they took a nice pretty navy blue and then a fun pattern. And then they have the penny hex and the gorgeous green color over top of a nice.
I don't know about no gorgeous green right there. I'm just saying, teach us on, but I'm not a green guy. So.
Okay. See, green's my favorite. So.
Is it? Yeah. It's more curly between men and women.
So the other day I had a client call and ask a question about the freestanding tub that they had just installed. They had a little space in the back that they wanted to fill in. It felt kind of bare and there was nothing there, so she wanted to fill it in. So I always recommend either putting in a real or faux greenery. You could also add in a nice little stool or table for if you're going to have a bath. Have yourself a glass of wine, light a candle, have a nice relaxing, moment and experience.
Just picture me in a bubble bath. I haven't took it. I guess I need to experience that. I'm just not a bath taker, but that might be good.
Some of us are.
Maybe with cucumbers on my eyes,
Yes. So I always recommend it. You could put a little basket there with towels and things, but greenery is a good way to fill in that space behind your tub. Kind of gives you that serene look and feel, bringing the outdoors in. It's a great way to add in that space. And again, with the stool, having a little table with, your glass of wine, your snack, your candle.
Where's that other picture that was up here a while ago? That one.
Yes.
The towel, we have a towel warmer. It looks like that sits on the floor. Have you seen those?
Oh, not the ones that sit on the floor.
Yeah, so they have them out. They look like wicker baskets. But you towels stay in there. It just warms it. So when you get out, you have the towel warmer. So you can get the one that hangs on the wall, or you can get something like that that's going to sit right beside. Well, that one's not a warmer, but they have them warmers. So that's another thing you think about too is, tile warmers. They're really nice when you get out of the shower stuff is to throw a nice warm towel.
Another little detail to add in that spa-like experience.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive. A tile warmer, one of those is $150, to get that spa-like experience, Yeah. So, I like this one.
Yes. A nice, clean, open aesthetic. This gives you a feeling of just refreshness. I feel like when you walk in, it's nice and open. Again, taking the tile all the way up to the ceiling, and you have a zero entry. You have a zero entry curbless shower, so easy to clean, less there to maintenance, less mildew, less water debris to kind of clean up after. So it's a great way to keep it easy.
When I look at stuff like this, I've never thought in a million years these colors would go together. But as I look at them, I love the blue of the vanity there. Let me say it right. So everything just flows together. But I do want to talk about 0 degree showers. You mentioned those. So I want to give you kind of ins and outs of 0 degree, what that looks like, how functional it is, and different ways that we can do showers. So, of course, 0 degree is a zero entry shower is gives you a more contemporary look for
Yes.
one, but also it's used for aging in place. For not to have that curve to step over the wheelchairs to go and stuff like that. So if you're on a concrete slab, I don't know if you know this, but on a concrete slab, what we do, we actually cut out where the shower's going to go, and we drop all the way down to the dirt, basically, and then we pour concrete back. Our goal is to leave about 2 inches there, so to create that slope, and then you have that true zero entry just like that. Now, it's a little harder when you're on a wood floor, if you have a basement or a second story. We have to do two things. We have to lower the floor half, 3/4 inch, and also build the floor up another 3/4 inch to help that. The biggest thing is making sure, and I think you mentioned this earlier, when you have a 0 degree, the best shower head is...
Yes, a rain shower head. I always recommend if you're going to do an open concept, zero entry, there's not a door there to help protect from any of the water splashing, get a rain shower head. That way it keeps everything towards the slope and the drain, and there's no chance of any
splash out, nothing like that. So
exactly.
Yeah, because again, when you're doing 0 degree, you don't have the slope like you would have in a curved shower. Now we even have hey Zach, go back to the other slide. I want to talk about that for a second. We even have they're shower pans, but they're full composite pans, and they're only about an inch thick. So if you want that kind of the 0 degree, but didn't want the price of doing that, what that would give you, basically, if you did ceramic tile, you'd still only have a 1/4 inch, half inch of a step up. So it gives you that still modern look. I did want to talk about this because I used one of these when I was on a vacation one time, and they didn't have the shower door. And I thought, this is really cool. It looks nice. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. So just know that it looks great. So if you ever go without a door, and I warn all our customers, they say, hey, I don't want a door. It's like, well, think about it, because once it's in, right? And it's not a cheap thing or an inexpensive thing to fix, So
correct, yeah. You don't have that door there to help keep the steam and the warmth in.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's again, something to think about before you go down that road.
And again, that's what actually helps when you have the heated floors. I mean, it helps some. Of course, it's not going to solve it completely, but the heated floors, the heated bench, when you are in there, it can help. Yeah.
It'd be nice, real nice. Yeah. Wow. So tell us about this one.
Okay, so I always ask when we're going to put in a niche, I make sure that they are aware of, you have to choose the size. You have to choose the shape where you want to place it. A lot of people want a his and hers. You can do a his and hers. You could also do like this one here. We have a horizontal one, so it's a nice elongated one, so you have plenty of space. And then you could also do a vertical stack, where I've seen people love where they have a his and hers, but one's a top, one's bottom. So if
keep your stuff out of my stuff.
Exactly.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned niches, because I think I want to stop there for a minute, because it is important. People don't think about it, because the worst thing that will happen, and I've seen this happen time after time again, is to get the shower done and that favorite shampoo you have doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit. And you're like, well, I got to change shampoos. What's going on here?
And so that's what I tell them when they want to do niches. I always say, well, pull out your shower bottle, your shampoo, just any kind of body washes. Pull that out, measure them, and see how they fit and what the size are.
And the cool thing, you can do most anything. Like you said, wide niches. I mean, there's all kinds you can do. So a lot of people don't even think about this, and I mentioned it. If you don't put a bench in, is a below foot niche.
Yeah.
For shaving your legs. I mean, when I shave my legs, that's what I do. So, but it's something to think about, because I've shaved them probably once, but anyway, I don't shave them often, but it is a daily thing for a female, and so to not have to bend over,
and the convenience of that, because again, going back to function of a bathroom, think about your daily routine, everything that you have to do in your bathroom. So play it out in your head when you're visualizing what your bathroom to look like, just to make your day just more convenient.
Right. And light the niche up too. We can put lights in your niche, which is, I know, putting electrical power in with water, but we can help with that. Nobody's going to get shocked, but it's really a cool as a night lighter when you're going to the bathroom, to have one put in. So really nice. Yeah. So now tell me about the vanity.
So this is a furniture vanity piece. Some people like to have the furniture vanities, and I've seen some people that just they would rather not, because then you have to worry about cleaning underneath.
So
when
that's
you have the
what's
legs.
the difference between a furniture tile?
So furniture piece is you're going to have the legs, and it's going to be a little bit more custom to how you would like it. But you have the legs where you are going to have to clean underneath, and that's one of the cons when people say, okay, I don't want to have to worry about getting underneath there. Again, less cleaning if you have an actual vanity in place. You don't have that.
Right. Just get a house cleaner. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. Just get a house cleaner. But I'm glad you brought that up too, because a lot of people don't know the difference between a furniture. Even though it's called furniture, it looks like furniture. Is the whole point. You just can't pull it out and clean behind it.
Exactly.
so there's that. But it gives you a totally different look.
Yeah.
And I love the way they did the tile underneath there too to carry that up.
Yeah, it adds another accent. It adds character. You've got an accent wall behind your vanity, so it's real pretty to look at. You can choose any color, shape, size, and you could carry it all the way up the wall, or here they just carried it about midway. And with mirrors, I always tell people, if you have a smaller space, the bigger the mirror, the better. It creates a little bit, of a more open space. Okay. When you take those larger mirrors down and you add two separate ones, I just say it will create a little bit of an illusion that you have a smaller space versus the larger the mirror. So
it's kind of pros and cons.
Yeah.
I like the look.
Yeah, you get like the individual, his and hers look, but yeah.
Anyway, so you clean your own mirror. Anyway, so price-wise though, typically furniture vanities are a little bit less expensive than actually built-ins, because with built-ins you pretty much have the vanity itself and then a top.
Right.
And so with furniture styles, typically they come with the top. So you do save a little bit and you get a little more functionality. But that is definitely something to think about, because you don't want to put it in there and go, I can't clean behind it. Think about that stuff before, make that choice. So
And with furniture pieces, you don't get as much of a custom look, because you're usually stuck with just a couple of finishes or colors, and you're stuck with just a few options of the top. You know, if you want just a quartz, most of the time you're going to be stuck more with a simple, black and white, or a quartz mix of, a little bit of a gray veining. But if you do custom piece, you can literally put the drawers where you want it. You can, pick whatever piece of quartz or granite that you like on it.
Put your hair dryer plug-ins and stuff in there. So we do all that too, having a place for your electrical outlets inside there. There's another thing to think about too. If you get a new vanity, if you get a new bathroom, do you want some outlets inside the vanity? So when you pull out your hair dryer, it's already plugged up. You don't have to worry about it. So there's some things that definitely think about when you're picking out a vanity. All right. Okay. So tell us about that. I've got something I want to say about this. I'll let you go first.
Sure. So this one here is great for, again, wheelchair accessibility. You don't have any door, zero entry, no lip to have to lift your feet over. So it's really great to have for that kind of special needs.
Right. That way you can just roll a chair in. So we do a lot of ADA showers. Actually a good amount of those. So making sure accessibility is a key.
Slide right in, and if you want to sit on your bench and do your thing, and then you're set. Right. And then on this side here, this one would be a little bit more of a con for someone that is wheelchair accessibility. You have a little bit of a tighter space to get into.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Two things I'd point out. The trench drain, if you've seen a trench drain, that's what one looks like. So, we have center drains, trench drains. Trench drains are really good if you're doing it at 0 degree, because it allows us to put that drain further back, so we create that gentle slope that comes down. Plus, it gives you that nice contemporary look too. I do want to point out, when I saw this, it looks great. It looks awesome, but sometimes we're dealing with our clients, and they're, my age and above. I'm not going to tell you my age, but things to think about as we get older, especially if you're forever home, is do I want to go ahead and put blocking in for handicap bars while the shower's out? So we put wood behind the walls. That way, when you decide to put a handicap bar, you got something to screw it into, and not just tile. Another thing to think about too, this is great, but or if you get a place where you have to be in a wheelchair or have to be an ADA or something, is this functional? So, think about stuff like that, as you're doing your shower, because, it looks great now, but what does it look like 2 years from now? What does it look like 3 years now? Like that. So.
Yes, of course.
So let's talk about different styles. So we talked a little bit earlier. I know we do a lot of tile showers, and of course tile showers are going to be most expensive. because there's a lot of labor involved.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like the clean the grout lines and having to clean those. They look great in the beginning, but if you don't seal it like we don't, inherently we don't as humans, we're supposed to, like we're supposed to do our homework, and we don't. And so when you don't seal your tile, what happens is, tile and grout is porous, and so it's a cement product. And so water gets trapped in there and just starts growing mold. And so sealing it, basically, it's kind of like that Thompson water seal, or kind of like a sunscreen. You put that layer on there and it keeps that from happening. The problem is when it wears out, you don't reseal it, and we're back to what we're doing. Now, some of the grout we're using these days have some sealers built in with it. They're still not 100%. So a lot of people don't want to deal with any grout lines. So we have an answer for you. It's called Palisades. So kind of our wallboard system. I love it. We have it in our showroom. We have it to look like tile, and these are actually individual pieces. It's really cool. They click and lock like your LVP floor systems. They're 100% waterproof. The company puts a 10-year warranty behind it. So you get that same look as tile, but not that spice. But you can also get, I don't have a picture of it, more of a marble look. Like if you want to do your whole marble wall, we can do one sheet. It just looks really contemporary. It looks really amazing. But as you see here, these are individual tiles. So, and that's more of a wall piece there too. So different options. Now, when you go to this, we deal with the more of that stone resin pan we talked about earlier, and from there. And it's hard to get a regular bench in these. When we go to these, have to be more of a fold down bench. So I just want to point that out. So tile's not your only option. We also offer cultured marble. Cultured marble, you've probably seen it a million times in other houses. You didn't know what it was, but it's between the old fiberglass shower. Cultured marble kind of steps up in there, and tiles up above that too. So, oh wow, this is a wet room.
Oh yes, wet
Let's
rooms.
talk about wet rooms, because that's the thing now.
Yes,
Everybody
it's
wants a wet room.
very popular.
All right.
Yep. Again, it creates a spa-like feeling. You walk in, it's very convenient. You have everything all in one area. Your tub, your shower. So if you wanted to, I've seen where some people like to get out of a nice ice bath and get into a hot shower.
I see that. I don't know. I hadn't bought into it yet. I'm so cold nature. I'm like, I can imagine.
Not for you.
I actually did it one time. Me and my wife was on vacation, and we went to a spa, and I didn't know it was cold.
Oh,
I had no idea it was cold. And they had us getting warm first. It was great. Then they wanted us to get in the cold. And I was like, I swear I wasn't going to do it. And the man was like, go, you go.
Yeah.
And made me do it. Awful.
Wakes you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, it made me cold. Anyway, let's go back to
Yes.
Squirrel. So the wet room, let's get back on track. I'm sorry, I got us off track. I like to double it. They put a niche over here too, which I like.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That way you have convenience function on both sides, whether you're taking a bath or a shower.
So yeah, you can, if you don't feel like you're clean enough in the shower, just jump over in the bath. Or if you've got your spouse.
Husband and wife, you can bathe and shower at the same time.
Have a night at the shower, yeah. Oh, wow. All right, that is really nice. I know that wasn't one we did, but we just had to put it in there because it's so cool looking.
Very clean looking.
I think there's a guy out there looking in. I'm just kidding. So I hope that helped. I know it's not everything. We could talk all day about bathrooms, because bathrooms, they have so much going on in them, actually more than kitchens. People don't realize when it comes to a bathroom model. So taking your time, making sure you pick the right contractor, to pick the right designer. Again, at the end of the day, you want it to be everything you dreamed of when you walk in your bathroom. And I go, I wish I would have done that. So Jamie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we're going to be putting out a show once a week, The Educated Homeowner, and our goal is to have you to know your home like a pro. So we'll bring in HVAC guys to talk about what you should pay for repair, what to look out for, we'll talk about landscaping, what the best ideas of landscape, just everything about your home. So stick around, check us out, check out our channel if you have some time, and give us a thumbs up. Guys, you have a blessed day, and thank you so very much.